Hi Libra, thanks for tuning in. Welcome. This is going to be a reading on relationships. So it can be for you if you're a if you're a Libra Sun or Ascendant, or you could watch this reading and get information that might help you if you're dealing with a Libra person. So this reading is not only for romantic or love interest relationships. It can be any kind of connection you have. You could be needing some advice or insight on your relationship with a family member or a friend or a co-worker or someone you just recently met, a potential business partner, anything like that. So just listen in for the messages and see where it fits and place yourself in the reading in the right way, because sometimes the roles can be reversed in these relationship readings. So just be honest when you're watching and place yourself in the correct area of the spread. So let's get started. This first card is how you see yourself. This is how you see them. This is how they see themselves and how they see you. This is the energy that is between you, the energy that's challenging. This is the overall energy. And this is the potential outcome. At the bottom of the deck, we have 7 of coins. Okay. All right, give me a second here. All right, so you're coming up here as the 7 of Cups. And the 7 of Cups can be a little bit of a delusional energy. It can be a bit confusing. You can see that like the 7 of Cups represents a lot of options on the table, or a lot of things kind of coming at you that need your attention. And you needing to kind of address what's in front of you and evaluate what's important to deal with right now, or what's important to give attention and energy to right now that will best serve you in whatever area of life is needing the most sort of nurturing and attention. But sometimes because there's so many things to deal with, it can be a little confusing, because it's like hard to know what to deal with first or what to like give the most attention to. But it's interesting here that you have the 7 of Cups, and the Chariot is here in this reading as well, and it's also number 7, but this is from the Major Arcana. And then at the bottom of the deck, you also have the 7 of Coins. So there's 3 sevens here. There's 3 sevens. So I'll come back to that in a second. But the Chariot is here in the reading in the reverse of how you see the person, right? How you see the person that you're dealing with. It kind of feels to me like they seem like they're not moving forward. They're not moving forward in their life. They're not. You're seeing them as being maybe not progressing in themselves, or like they're kind of maybe even going backwards in a way. Maybe they're not addressing the things that are important, right? Like 7, connecting the 7s, right? 7 for you, you're in a place right now where you're having to evaluate and look at all the things that are kind of showing up that are looking like they're important things for you to deal with, and you having to evaluate what you're gonna look at first, or what you're gonna deal with first. And your person here has the Chariot in reverse, which feels to me like they are maybe running away from their problems, or what they need to face. It's like they're turning away from what they need to face, and they're not really willing to use their willpower to face the important things. Because for me, the Chariot is the energy of the spiritual warrior. Right? I mean, the depiction in this card on this deck is not as evident as as it is in other decks, but I feel like your person here is kind of turning away from the tough things that they are actually being faced with, that are showing up in their lives, requiring their attention. And that's indicated here by the Judgment card. They have the Judgment in their reading in the position of how they see themselves. So what that says to me is that this person is being faced with some pretty hard lessons right now that are really requiring them to transform, to shed their old skin. Look, the imagery here is really clear. It's a picture of a snake shedding its skin. And there's also this kind of moth here coming out of a chrysalis and becoming, from the bug to the caterpillar, from the caterpillar to the moth. So that's where they are right now. Like, they're obviously in a position where there's some tough life lessons being thrown at them, and they're being required to face up to those life lessons and deal with them. But the way you're seeing them is that they're actually not really giving it that much energy, and they're not giving it that much attention. Now, how they're seeing you is the Knight of Swords in reverse. So they're also seeing you, like, it's kind of similar in a way, these two cards somehow. It's like these two energy of like kind of warrior people that are in the reverse position, maybe turning away from what's important. So I think how this person is seeing you is that you're also like not, maybe in a different way. I think the way you're seeing them, because it's a major arcana card, you're seeing them as not paying attention to their important spiritual work that they need to do. But they're seeing you as maybe being too impatient or impulsive, or maybe not communicating well with them. That's how I would say the Knight of Swords feels to me in this reading. They don't. I think they feel like you're also turning your back on them and not giving them enough communication or enough attention or enough patience. That's what it feels like. Now, in the central part of the reading, you have Three of Swords crossed by Page of Wands in reverse, and then the Magician and the Star card. This is really beautiful and really strong. Two major arcana cards here in the overall energy and the outcome energy. I'll get to that in a second. But this energy here that's between you, Three of Swords and Page of Wands, a lot of fire, a lot of red there. It's a lot of emotion. It's very heated, I would say. It's very heated. It's a mixture of anger and sadness here, I would say. I think that the energy between you, there's some grief. I think that what's happening here is that the people here are not really seeing eye to eye very well. It's not really a harmonious energy there. It's not very harmonious. I really feel that communication is problematic. There's difficult communication here. I think people are not really able to communicate well. Like the vibration of these two people is so different. It's like hard to understand how they're actually even connecting at all. And with this Page of Wands in the reverse position as what's challenging, I feel like there's anger and there's like resentment and there's some frustration with each other. And I think that it's making it really hard for people to see eye to eye and to be able to communicate well, to be able to be, present and understanding of each other. There's also this like feeling of being like uninterested in the other, in what's going on. I don't know how to explain that. It's like really there's a lot of impatience between these two cards. I would say there's a lot of impatience. Like there's an inability to kind of tolerate and deal with the situation. Feeling like misunderstood as well. There's, like people cannot relate and understand each other very well. That's what I feel. I think the people in this reading can't really see what's ahead of each other, or what's ahead for them as like people relating to each other. I think it's hard to see where it's going or what the purpose is, but somehow there's this energy here for the Seven of Pentacles. It's like you've put in a lot of energy in the past, like you've invested a lot of time and maybe a lot of resources and energy into the connection. And right now it feels a little bit unstable and unsure because mainly because I think each person is in such a different space in their own energy, but somehow there's like some kind of demanding energy being placed upon one another that is being unmet or unfulfilled. And it's causing this like dissonance energy where people can't really communicate well, or they're not able to be patient for the other person. And it feels very frustrating. It's a little bit overwhelming, to be honest. But let's get to this card. The Magician is coming out here in the energy of what the overall energy in the reading. It's giving a lot of potential energy here, as well as with the Star. As the Star is in the reading in the position of potential outcome. It's saying here that there's a lot of possibility for something really beautiful, actually. The Magician is the manifester, and the Star card is about hopefulness and optimism and healing and innovation as well. It's a very kind of futuristic card, but I feel like both of these cards are representing a sort of higher dimensional energy that's maybe influencing and providing support for the people in this reading. I think there's a lot of potential for healing here. There's a lot of potential for healing. But that doesn't happen just by itself, right? People need to be engaged in that process actively and be participating and be kind of navigating that and driving it forward by being present, by being grounded, by being available to what actually is there for people to look at and to witness and to observe and to communicate about, so that there can be some evolution of it and understanding of it and awareness about it. So I think the individuals in this reading have a lot of potential that they can like support each other with, but that's what these two cards are saying. That's the potential of this energy here. But I feel like because these two cards are so hot and fiery and feel really frustrated and feel very triggered and feel very aggressive almost, like there's this energy that's like it's not harmonious. This can be harmonious. It is very harmonious, but look at the colors. Like this is very red and hot and fiery and aggressive and painful and like hurt. This is hurt. This is hurt feelings. Impatient, frustrated, hurt feelings. And this is like wisdom and understanding and compassion and healing. It's very soothing. It's very calm. It's very serene. It's very angelic, right? So this is a potential energy that's available, but this is more of actually where people are. So yeah, look at the colors. This is red and hot. This is cool and blue. So I mean, I would say if you want to like make the most of the opportunity that's here of this potential energy, I think meditation with blue light would be really supportive. I think working with managing the emotional energy and rather than letting it get flared up and triggered more and more, it's about trying to create a space where people feel safe and comfortable to be able to express whatever feelings that there are there, so that it can be transformed and evolved and moved through into a space where it becomes kind of purified and cleaned, right? Like in the Star card, you have this like water energy that's like kind of representative of purification and cleansing. And I think that's what's here. I think there's a need for closure here. That's basically what overall there is. It's like there's been a lot of energy put in. You're a little confused because it's overwhelming. The person's going through some really tough times and they're not really properly facing up to it. And so that's causing a lot of frustration and irritation. Communication is a bit strained and difficult. But I think I'm not necessarily seeing here that there's some kind of like happily ever after ending. But what is possible here is that people can help facilitate each other's healing and release by just being present with each other, so that they can communicate what needs to be said, so that there can be some closure. That's what I feel, Libra. I think for you and for them, but maybe more for you, because this person is really in this dark space. It's kind of a hard energy. This person is in this hard energy with the Judgment and the Chariot in reverse. For you, I'm seeing you more as the Magician in this energy, because somehow like I feel like you're in a place where you're actually able to view the circumstances from a higher perspective. And if you're able to take that higher perspective, you're able to be a little bit more compassionate of the difficult energy that this person is dealing with. And in doing so, you'll be able to actually provide some of that soothing, calming energy, because maybe they can't right now because they're too much caught up in their own story. and they're not actually able to see past their own strife and their own challenge and their own problems. So it's not to say that you have to kind of take on this person's load as far as their emotional issues and their spiritual test. This is a test. This person is going through a spiritual test. And because you're close to them, it's kind of also affecting you as well. But I feel like you have more tools than they do to actually help facilitate the process for this person. But that doesn't, like I said, it doesn't mean that you have to take on their problem or their story. It's more about just holding space for them and maintaining a kind of calm and collected space where you're just kind of soothing the energy and helping it to calm down so that whatever is being played out here can be played out without it having you kind of like pushing back against it and making it even more, flared up and complicated. Okay, Libra, I'm going to leave it there. I really hope that was helpful. I'm not really sure. I was kind of just like going with the full flow of channeling there, but I hope you found something in there you can work with. It's been an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now.